In-depth football coverage from The Athletic is now just £1 per week. See the link in the description to sign up today. Champions League reform is upon us. When the 2024-25 season begins, the competition will enter into a new broadcasting contract with a raft of different commercial agreements. And when it does, it will be under a new format with many more games. The Swiss model, as it's been referred to. But how will it work? What will the Champions League actually look like, and why is this happening? Well, first, the most dramatic change. The 32-team group stage will be abolished and replaced by a single 36-team league. Each participating club will play 10 games, 5 at home, 5 away, with those fixtures determined by a seeding system which will rank clubs based on historic performance. After those initial 10 games have been completed, the teams finishing in the top 8 of the league will advance automatically to the next round. The next 16 sides, however, would then enter a playoff from which 8 winners would emerge to create a 16-team knockout stage. Juventus's Andrea Agnelli is the chairman of the European Club Association, and he has described the changes as his ideal Champions League and believes it will provide great opportunities for those teams participating in that competition. As well he might. In essence, the Swiss model is a clever way to stage a competition with a large number of participants without sending half of them home after the first round. Previously, under the old system, 16 of the 32 clubs were eliminated after just 6 games. Under its proposed replacement, each participant would be guaranteed 4 more games. And it will also mean that Europe's elite clubs get to play each other more often. And from a commercial standpoint, the greater regularity of those top-tier clashes has an obvious attraction. More games mean more ticket sales, a bigger television audience for each club's sponsor, and most likely, more opportunity to earn prize money. But another attraction is the lack of jeopardy and the diminished risk created by a new qualifying facility. The number of participants will rise from 32 to 36, but instead of filling those 4 new slots with deserving teams from the next best domestic leagues on UEFA's country coefficients list, the current plan is to award an extra qualifying spot to Liga, putting them on equal footing with England, Germany, Italy and Spain. The second spot would be reserved for a team that had performed well in a recent Champions League, but who would ordinarily be asked to progress through the qualifying rounds. With the Eredivisie currently offering no guaranteed route to the Champions League group stage, this is a situation which has befallen Ajax in the past. Despite reaching the semi-finals in 2019, for instance, they still had to pass through 2 qualifying rounds to reach the next season's group stage proper. Under this new system, they would have been an obvious candidate and likely recipient of that automatic spot. But the 2 remaining extra places will be more controversial, as they're intended to provide safety nets for underperforming clubs. They would be reserved for the teams with the best club coefficient, a ranking based on performances in Europe over the previous 5 seasons, that had failed to qualify from the previous season's domestic campaign, but who still had finished within the other European places, 5th to 7th. Think Manchester United 2 seasons ago, for instance, or Tottenham more recently. Theoretically, that means that the Premier League, Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga or Liga could have up to 6 participants in the Champions League if 2 seasoned Euro campaigners finished between 5th and 7th. But that will come with a caveat though. All of those leagues are limited to having 7 European slots in total each season. Typically, that would be 4 teams in the Champions League, 2 in the Europa League and 1 in the soon-to-arrive Europa Conference League. However, if a team was to require one of those lucky loser spots, then the domestic league in question would not be able to send a full quota to the 2nd or 3rd tier competitions. Even so, there'll still be 3rd place teams from Russia or the Netherlands, or a runner-up in Switzerland and Greece, wondering why they have not made Europe's top competition, while a 7th placed team in England or Italy potentially has. The European leagues collectively will also worry that the Swiss model competitions are inherently scalable. What is to stop the European Club Association asking for 18 games in 2027 or 34 in 2030? And with football's calendar already full to bursting, where would the space to accommodate that expansion come from? If you liked today's video, please subscribe to the channel to help us reach 1 million subscribers. And we're also pleased to be able to offer you access to The Athletic for just £1 per week. Follow the stories that you care about with closer access and intelligent takes. See the link in the description now to sign up. Thank you for supporting Tifo and, of course, watching today's video.